The market's getting tight. Real tight. Taking a look here at the S&P 500 and looking at the coming week, the upcoming move, looking at key areas that we should keep an eye on and really talk about the idea of the market squeezing from here and going back to all-time highs and higher in the coming week. Gonna break down what's going on with the S&P 500, look at some key levels, look at some support resistance, and why you should be bullish or why you should be bearish going into the upcoming week. Gonna break down what's going on right here in this video, so make sure you guys stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Patrick here, and today we're going to talk about the S&P 500, really not just for futures, but for the overall market. If you're long, if you bought the dip and you're holding for all-time highs, what you should be looking for here in the upcoming week. I'm pretty sure that if we're going to get a move, it's going to happen probably on Monday or Tuesday. Like, it's ready. The market is so tight at this point. It is ready to explode. And let's look at these key levels here and give us a game plan going into the upcoming week here. It's currently July 18th. It's Saturday. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I just had my coffee and I'm ready to party. So first off, I know someone's going to ask in the comment section below. The platform that I use for trading futures is called Optimus Flow. There's a link down in the description if you want to check it out. It's free to try out. They have a trial that I believe is for 2 weeks, but don't quote me on that. I believe it's a free trial. You can try out their platform. You can paper trade and all of that fun stuff. So if you want to check it out, there's a link down below. Now we got that out of the way. Let's take a look at the chart and see what's really going on here with the S&P 500. All right. So right now we are looking at the daily chart here on the S&P 500. And what do you see just by looking at it? Guess what? We've got resistance. I wouldn't say it's a double top, but I'd say it's pretty darn close to a double top or a top resistance or resistance test here at that 2240 level, right? 2240, I believe that level right there. Yeah, so pretty much right there, we've got this very strong resistance after hitting it twice and getting denied both times. So now that we've identified the resistance, let's look at the trend. What's going on with the overall market? Obviously, we've just been going higher and higher for quite some time. There's the trend line to look at here. This 3,000 level has been very important to keep an eye on as well there, as we've touched that here twice as well. And now if we draw another line up top here, again, we've got this channel. We've been in this channel consolidating for what feels like forever. I don't know about you guys, but it just feels like the market has not moved in forever. Now, in the past, I talked about how I was buying puts when the market was up at the 3,200 area. When the market was up at the 3,200 area, I talked about buying puts because I was looking for a move down here to the 290s. We got pretty darn close to it, but I only ended up getting out for a small loss there because I just got the time decay and the overall move just wasn't as big as I was hoping for. I was really looking for more of a move like down here to the 2,800. So I'm out of that trade. I got out with my tail between my legs and I ran for the hills because at this point I'm like, hey, this market's too strong. Because I'm like, hey, this market is too strong and there's no point in shorting this bull that's out of control at this point. So if I can't short it, what should I do next? Well, I should be looking for an opportunity to get long if we break above this level here. Now, one thing that I want to point out, because other people are pointing it out and they're talking about how this looks like a repeat. People are like, yeah, but look, we've got 3 candles. 1, 2, 3 candles. Let me zoom in here for you guys. We've got 3 candles, 3 daily candles getting stuck there. Wow. People are like, this is they call it a floating island because as you can see, there's like a little gap here and there's like a little gap there. And then it's just like, ooh, sells off. So a lot of people are thinking that this is going to sell back down here. And one thing that I've learned is when a lot of people are thinking something is going to happen, it normally doesn't happen. The market loves to do the exact opposite of what everybody else is thinking. So when everybody's like, hey, this is the top, I want to get short here, this is going to sell off, well, there's probably a better chance that this goes back up at that point. Because what happens? We get a short squeeze. Everybody's bearish. So any type of bullish price action is going to send the bears to the ask. They're going to start buying to get out of their positions. And the market's going to rally. So what's our game plan? It's Saturday. What are we going to do on Monday? What am I going to be watching? What's my overall game plan here? Like I said, we've got that clear resistance there, 240, to pretty much anything under 250 at this point. That 3,250 level is resistance, right? We know that's resistance. We know a couple things that are different about this move here that I want to illustrate for you guys. Because like I said, people are trying to say this is going to be similar to this move and we're going to get a sell down. But there's a difference between what's happening here and what happened here, right? Look at this move up to that resistance in the past, right? It was nothing but green, pushing up there to that resistance. We got those 3 bars, and then we sold off. The market likes to take the stairs on the way up, and then the elevator on the way down, and that's exactly what we got. But you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to ask yourself this question. If we went, if we squeezed up to that resistance, nothing but buy, no real good consolidation really through that area. We had a couple daily candles that were pretty tight in the range, but overall, we just kind of squeezed. So this picture, or this move to that resistance, is a lot different than this move here up to that resistance. Because if you look at these candles. Look at this. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. Look at this different price action there, right? This is that resistance that we already looked at. You can see how this just went from, 2,800 all the way to 3,200, where this move makes a lot more sense because we pull back. We find some support there at the 2,900, 3,000 area. Again, we pull back. We find some support. So we get this little push up. We get this pullback there to that previous support. Remember, the market loves to retest and hit areas that it's already touched before, that market memory, the idea of the market moves in waves. So looking at this, a lot of people are looking at this guy. I guess you could say it's like an inverse head and shoulders, right? An upside down head and shoulders, or whatever you want to call it. There's a million different patterns that you could apply to this. But really what the key here is, look how long we've just been consolidating. This is back in June. We are now, what is this? The 18th? So we've been basically consolidating between 3,000 and 3,200 for over a month at this point, which is amazing because the market has been such crap for trading, at least for futures, because it's just been so choppy. We have a couple of solid moves, but overall, it's just been like this. It's just been nothing but chop. So this is a much different move from that move to that previous resistance. It's a much different move because at that point, you're really kind of looking overextended, I'd say. Looking overextended for that push up to that resistance there. Where this is like we've consolidated. Look at this. From 3,120, this is beginning of July, basically right here. So we've consolidated for the last, 17, 18 days, whatever markets open only. And we've been consolidating here above the 3,100 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13 days now we've been consolidating there. So almost 2 weeks that we've been in this area right below that resistance, that clear resistance there on the chart at the 240 area, that 240 area, clear resistance. But look at the difference. Like I said, you had that big move up to that resistance. So we should have expected some type of pullback. If we did not get a pullback from this resistance here, if we didn't get a pullback, I would have been much more bearish to the idea of this selling off, which, like I said, it ended up selling off, but didn't sell like we did. This is a much different picture. This is a much different picture. Consolidating. This is a much different picture because we consolidated here for almost 2 weeks. We rallied here from the 2,800 to the 3,200 area. So that's a 400-point move over the kind of same time frame. This is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 14, 15 days, we went up 400 points. During this 13-day period, during this 14-day period, whatever you want to call it, we've only went up. We didn't even go up. We went 100 points. We went up 100 points. So this is looking much tighter, much more tight. I don't know how to say it, but when you wind something up, let's say when you pump something up, when you compress something for so long, when you compress this price action here for so long at this point, what does that tell us? It tells us that this thing is ready to explode. Now, as I say that, I think to myself, now that I've said that here on YouTube, that this is ready to explode, it's going to just start crashing back down, right? That's probably going to happen now that I'm feeling bullish. The market's going to do the exact opposite. And like I've learned over the years, that's pretty much what happens. So instead of me having a bias at this point where I'm like, oh, well, I'm only buying the dips. I'm only buying the dips because I want to party. The way that I'm going to look at this is, okay, we've got clear support at the 3,100 and we've got clear support down here at the 3,000. So below here from this move, we've got 100 handles down and then 100 handles down there. The upside, we've got a lot more upside on this baby because if you look, all right, so if you look from here, what's our upside on this move? We've got that 3,400 area as our big resistance coming up there. I would say 3,400 is in play if this thing wants to squeeze higher. So we're looking at 200 handles to the upside or higher. I mean, if this really starts going, I wouldn't be surprised to see 3,500 pretty quick when the market starts to squeeze because everybody's short. Everyone thinks the market's going to crash. Everybody's finally like, okay, this can't go any higher. Well, guess what? The market at that point is definitely going to go higher when everyone believes that it can't go any higher. On the downside, we've only got 100 handles here and then 100 handles here support-wise. So really, we've got a clear breakout idea for a 200 handle move where on the downside, we've really got the support. We know that 3,100 area has been holding pretty clearly, so there's no reason for us to think that this is going to just sell right off on Monday, but there's always a chance that this wants to kind of retest and then want to push back up there, that 3,100 area, wanting to hold there. Maybe, Sunday night, this wants to kind of sell off a little bit and then get ready for the party on Monday. But like I said, this move pushing up to that resistance has been much different than this move pushing up into that resistance. So we've got that clear resistance there, the 3,200 area. That's just pretty much what we've got to worry about and watch at this point. I want to see some action. At this point, I don't care if we're bullish, if we're bearish. I just want to see some actual action because these little moves, this little chop is not doing it for me. It's not making my day better. This is not conducive to trading when you're just chopping in this kind of just around and just not going. I want to see moves, baby. I want to see action like this move here. I mean, this is like a trader's dream move, right? From the 3,200 down there below 3,000. So over a 200 handle move on that daily candle. And that was just like sell, sell, sell. Ride the party, ride the trend down. So the market, we're at a different point than we were the last time that we touched that resistance. And that's what we got to think about here. This move looking to break to the upside. If you look at the smaller time frames, let's look at the hourly time frame, just kind of see what that setup looks like right now. And as you can see on the hourly time frame, they're holding that 390, that 3190 area holding, just really important to watch at that point. So really 3190 we'll be keeping an eye on. And then that 3120 area, keep an eye on, 3120 and 3190 as our support there. So support there and support here. So market's been consolidating at this area for quite some time. It's ready to explode. It's ready to go to the moon. Or is it ready to start crashing? I got a feeling that we're going to rally one more time. One more big rally here. One more big squeeze. And that way, everybody who's short gets squeezed out. They're going to turn long. And then the market's going to go back down from there. Or maybe we just push to 4,000 and we get a huge melt up and the market just keeps going higher and higher for the rest of 2020. These are all very big possibilities, but there is one thing that's for sure. There's one thing that's for sure here is that we have been consolidating at this area for quite some time. And it's finally time, people. It's finally time to figure out which way we're going to go. So I'll be waiting to see what happens on Monday. Like I said, I'm bullish above 3,200. below 3,200, below that 3,200 area, I'm kind of just like, I'll just sit around and kind of maybe just not trade and wait for a clear price action move at this point, because I need to see some type of trend break. I need to see some type of action. I need to see the party. I want to go to the party. You know, I want to get this party started. So we got that clear trend. If we can't hold, like I said, if we can't hold this trend, what's going to happen? We've got sell-off targets down there, 3,100, and then 3,000 after that. So those are the targets to the downside. To the upside, we're looking for the moon, looking to make some money, and there it is. So either way, if you're long, if you're short, if you're bullish, if you're bearish, it doesn't really matter. The chart doesn't lie. The chart tells us what's going on, and that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're looking at going into the new week here. So if you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I'll talk to you guys later on.